Hey, this is Captainoob, and this is a bunch of melee weapons from the Taste of Blues quest mod. It's a quest mod that has a lot of inspiration from the Old World Blues DLC from Fallout New Vegas, and faithfully recreates a lot of the weapons here. A lot of these melee weapons are pretty basic and samey, so I'm just going to knock them all out in one go because it'll just be a one-stop shop. Most of these, their functionality, obviously, you run up to people and hit them, and that's basically how far melee weapons go. They're not going to be as complex, but I'm sure we'll have a whole lot of fun because I don't usually play melee in Fallout 3, but Fallout 3, well, I don't, either in Fallout 4, and there's a whole bunch of really powerful perks that a melee person can get that just really nailed that balance really well between melee and range weapons in Fallout 4. Wish they could do the same for other games, but let's not dwell on that. This right here is a proton axe. As you can tell, slow swing speed, has the same animations as a sledgehammer, super sledge, that sort of thing. Does 269 damage, which is, yeah, impressive. Also has this legendary effect sort of thing. Deals 50 extra damage to robots and 20 extra damage to users in power armor, which is kind of cool. But then you've got the inversal of that, which does a whole lot more damage and does 10 damage extra to basically everything except for what the extra damage you get at the proton axe. See, it's inversal. You understand, you're picking up what I'm putting down. Also, you get 900 damage out of this, which is a significant amount more, so that one's going into the bin. They also have glowing blades, so you can't really see it here. You'll see in the background there's a superheated thermic lance there. Satinite, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. But, yeah, unfortunately you can't really see them as well in this little transform preview thing here, but it is what it is. When you actually use them, they've got nice glowing blades, a little bit like lightsaber glowing sort of thing. This is a Satinite fist. This is a ore metal thing that was just in the new Vegas Old World Blues DLC. It never shows up anywhere, so I guess it's all stuck there in Big Mountain. Basically, it's an old school power fist. It uses the same animations as a new power fist, which looks more like a construction tool than a weapon, but yeah, that's what it looks like. You've also got a superheated version of that, which will actually cost you a whole lot of damage, and it deals a little bit of fire damage over 5 seconds. It's not that much. The amount of damage you get per strike out of this heavily outweighs that, so we probably won't be using this, and I've just gone ahead and tested them off camera just to see if they do anything special. They don't. It's unfortunate that we won't be able to use the heated ones because they've actually got a really cool glow map that actually makes some glow, of course, but we're going full performance mode here because we're not going to buy a V8 and rip the turbo right out because that would be boring. This one here is a super sledge. This is the only one that actually has customization options in the form of the heating coil or the stun pack, which has been retooled from the super sledges of the vanilla game, but as you can tell, you can get yourself a little bit of extra energy damage. This one has a chance to stun too, which is great. And anything that can resist that amount of damage should probably be stunned because they're probably very dangerous indeed. They also all have a legendary effect on them, but we'll not use that. So the superheated one, as you can tell, does less damage as well. There's also an X2 antenna, which has no legendary effects, but increases melee range because it's so long, right? They've just pumped up the reach stat on it. And does extra damage to robots and power armor as well. There's also a unique one, you get this one at the end, and it has increased melee range as well, and also 10% chance to calm your enemy and hit, guaranteed with a critical, which I think, in terms of how interesting the weapons are, this is probably the top of the list because it has this cool legendary effect that you don't see anywhere else in the game. I don't think I've ever had a weapon that does that, so that's kind of cool. I wonder if that works against the big monsters. We'll have to test it out later. It also does 1300 damage, and there's more to this list. They're not showing up here. You'll notice there's a thermic lance on my back, and that's not there just for decoration, although, must be said, they do work with classic holstered weapons. It's almost as long as Lily, so you've got to put it on the angle there to make sure it's not clipping into the ground. There's also throwing axes, throwing knives, throwing spears. You'll see that their damage is slowly increasing as we go, except for the spear. This one is recoverable though, and the extra damage you get is kind of meh. There's also inversal versions with increased damage, which will do extra damage to non-robots and power armor users, just like you saw with the inversal axes. And there's also thermic lances. Here they are. You'll notice they're V-Fast. If you've ever used these things in New Vegas, they're like an electrical poking stick, which deals damage to your target when you're poking it. Basically, they've taken the animations from the, what do you call it, that Mr. Handy Buzzblade, and have applied them to here. Unfortunately, they've taken all the sounds with it as well, and this might be a work in progress thing, but as you can tell, it sounds exactly like a Buzzblade, and the impacts aren't electric. What you could probably do there is just give it the same impacts as the Tesla traps. You see them in the walls and ceilings and stuff. There's one at there's a USAF Olivia site. There's one right at the door as you walk in, but I think that would be an improvement because right now that's not quite doing it for me. In terms of damage though, it is doing it for me because this thing does 526. If we go back over to our version that is Satinite and also the superheated one, less damage with a little bit of damage over time. Yeah, it will set people on fire, but it also has this really cool texture. I quite like that. I wonder if we're going to see more Satinite in the future. Probably not, but that's a discussion for lore experts, I guess. But other than a cool paint job, we'll definitely be going for this. So I'm going to drop all of the ones I won't be using just so I can declutter this. And I guess we'll start hitting things. Alright, so we'll be taking on the Immersive Gunner's Plaza with a bunch of melee weapons. Call me crazy, but no, we're doing this. Also, I've noticed there's a movement speed penalty when this is equipped. Interesting. In the interest of stats and numbers and stuff, this is the damage I'm getting now. Obviously, we've kicked in solar powered. That'll increase our strength a little bit more. I'm also wearing what's the equivalent of 1 fortifying left arm, a powered other arm, 2 sprinters, and a Grognat costume on the chest. So it's the equivalent of that, and we're getting a lot of damage out of this. So I think we might be fine. Now, the idea is to use VATS, like, constantly. But before we do that, we'll give you a few practice swings. This one's made of Satinite, but it's the one I put a stun pack on, so it does damage anyway. So you get to see that cool Satinite texture after all. This is the Punchy. This is the only unarmed weapon. We could potentially use that to our advantage if we want to disable because of rank 5 of Iron Fist to get the Paralyzing Palm perk, which gives you a guaranteed paralyze on a critical. So we'll be looking out to do that. This one here is that cool axe, the Protonic Inversal. I'm going to get into a nice little spot of shade so you can see that, yeah, it glows. It's kind of cool. Looks more impressive during the night, but we want our special damage perks. What else have we got here? I've also got the X2 antenna, which you can't even see on the top of the screen, but she's long. Very, very long. Obviously, the reach there, much, I guess, explained by it. There's also... Excuse me, there's also this version here. It's got the unique paint job to it and the extra pacifying chance and guaranteed for a critical. But I'm going to start off with the thermic lance. I'm going to do this quickly and quietly and most importantly, silently and stuff. So we'll just bring the camera out nice and far so we can see around us. And we'll just use... Okay, the stealthiness, it hasn't gone very well, but that's fine. We'll just find a target we can actually get. Never mind, our pathing... Oh, there we go. Well, we chopped their leg off. Now we get started. Now, it looks like that we're getting a whole lot of damage through this. Like, a lot. Like, you factor in blitz and everything as well. We probably don't even need that, so we'll just charge at them with our poking stick and they'll just die. They'll just die of death. So we'll try to utilize this blitz perk a little bit here. That was actually a double kill there, thanks to Big Leagues rank 4. Hits everything in front of you, 90 degrees. Very good. Yeah, things are going pretty well right now, so maybe we can put away the thermic lance and we'll grab something a little bit more stunning. And we'll try to get some more cinematic kills where you hit ult and then you like poke them in the head with it. I completely missed that one. And, yeah, sometimes if you power attack... I missed that one as well. When you power attack sometimes, you'll get these moments where you'll sort of throw them down, and they'll be them sort of disarmed for a little bit, which leaves them open to the power attack at the back of the head. Yeah, things are going pretty well right now, I must say. I'm going to hit this guy all the way from here, and I'm going to poke him in the head with our sledge. We're just going to chop him right up. You'll find that if you have enough damage to kill them with the critical, you'll just sort of do the same animation over and over again. I think we've seen that enough. Lily's looking a little bit battered. Our health, however, is good. I think we got an idiot savant proc and then proceeded to kill a lot of gunners really quickly. So we got a free extra heal there for good measure. Let's just go up this way. We'll shimmy along this ledge and we'll get a little bit more close and personal. Now, since this is an unarmed weapon, it's got different animation set, which that wasn't even with the Power Fist. Okay, we crashed, but we're going to continue with the Power Fist. Okay, so welcome back to Immersive Gunners Plaza, but also updated. Yeah, I've had too many crash issues. I'm trying a couple of things, like setting the weather to clear, even though it's a all clear weather mod, just because I've got True Storms installed. Anyways, we'll see how that goes. If I don't crash, then it's good news, but there's the throwing weapons for you. They don't go very fast. They've only got just under 4 times multiplier, which means that 167 damage we got on those turrets, I think you'll find is a pretty big exaggeration of what we'll get if we threw these at the gunners. So we'll try to get some hits here. That guy knew that the hitbox will just completely take that axe out. So he dodged that first one pretty well. I'll give him that, but yeah, it's not all that impressive. We scarcely hit 40 damage against that guy, which is, it's not ideal. So we're going to go ahead and punch this gunner. And I've got a brand new plan. I think the way to do this is to play King of the Hill and camp on that stairwell. Just ignore the Super Sledge. I'm still committed to punching people, but I just switched to the Super Sledge because I could, I guess. There's a lot of gunners out here, so let's quickly make short work of them if we can. We'll go the ones that are nice and far away, because that will allow us to, let's get that little bit of extra blitz damage. And if we get a lot of extra damage, we can kill them in one shot, which is great. There's the surprise Super Sledge there. Again, I'm just hitting the wrong buttons here, because I got the lean mod still. There they are. So VATS is on F1, which is a little bit different to reach a little bit. Every time I play Fallout 76, I hit F1 to VATS and end up doing absolutely nothing. Actually, I think that's my stim pack button, so I guess it's not the end of the world if I end up stim packing, but yeah, let's not take on like a billion gunners at once. We'll try to do this a little bit more quietly, and we're going to try to save our AP a little bit. Notice how the puncher, I guess, the knuckles was moved forward. That may have been a bug that was in the game to begin with, so don't worry about that. Okay, so it looks like the fire escape is crawling with gunners, so we'll go up there, get a one-shot kill. I don't think... Actually, we can path to that guy. Well, we can, but also not really. The game said yes, but the pathing said no. We'll give her a nice love tap on the bum, make her go down. And now we get to fight these guys. Probably want to use VATS for that extra reduction. And there's one standing behind you, so I'll take you out first. And this guy gets a paralyzing and a nice little pirouette to boot. Right, so we've got a full charge of AP. We've got a decent bit of health. Our leveling up shouldn't be too far away, so we're in a good position to throw someone off the wall here. That was the grand plan all along. I'm going to get a gunner lined up just at the edge of that there. Oops. Look out for flanks, obvious flanks. Yes, look. Yes, once they're on there, if I can blitz them and get them with a critical, that's a nice, convenient heal, by the way. Then I can make them somersault off the roof, and it'll be sick. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully we can be in a position where we can actually watch them fall down as well. Okay, that's a good start, but we can do better. This guy. Okay. We're getting there, slowly. This guy. That's the wrong direction, but his head exploded in slow motion, which I can appreciate. Now, who else wants to try to take the Tower of Power here that I've got? I'm camping against Fallout AI. Yeah. We've gotten to this... What are you doing down there? Okay, looks like none of them want to climb the Tower of Power anymore, and they should... Honestly, that's pretty smart of them, so... We're going to go back over to the Super Sledge now because it's AP efficient. We'll burn some of our AP going on a bit of a run here. And we'll try to get them all in a nice, convenient location. These two lovebirds over here. Not exactly sure what their plan was. Nice little stun thing there. So there we go. We've seen a stun now. Very nice. But if we can get them all gathered into a place where Blitz can hit all of them, then... Lily, he was dead by the first strike. I think that's a little bit overkill. It's nice that you're getting a little bit more involved. Actually, it kind of suits Lily a little bit because I made a Skyrim character. Obviously a Nord, because if you're not playing Skyrim as a Nord, then you're not doing it right. But, yeah, made her Lily because you could get, like, a paint that looked a little bit like what Lily's got across her face there, that sort of warband. And the hat, well, not the hair, the hair I could find a reasonable approximation of, and I think we just skipped all of that shots. It got a little bit, confused there. Okay, I think let's go back to the thermic lance. We'll finish this off the way we started. I think, clearly, the best weapon here is the thermic lance, by far. It's not even a contest. Just the amount of speed that you get, the DPS, because of that, is just so much higher. And if you add extra sneak multipliers along with that, oh, you're gonna be laughing. So pretend we're gonna door breach using the thermic lance itself, even though we're only sending electrical charges through it, but don't worry about that. And we'll finish Immersive Gunner's Plaza without crashing. Look at me, happy. We did it. And not a single wound to boot. Good old energy shields, they're working pretty well today. I turned the decals off because I thought that was crashing me. It didn't, but Lily's not covered in blood, so, you know, looks like she's done that real clean like. Alright, let's move on. That's the power fist there. It doesn't show up with actually, you could probably make that you could probably just wear that, honestly, for the classic holstered weapons, because you've still got your hand free there, so make that happen. But yeah, it's good, but we can do better. Watch this. I'm pretty sure I don't even need to do this during the night either. There's a Super Mutant Suicide over there. He looks like a Fallout 3 Super Mutant. He's got a little bit more muscle tone about him. Was I correct? Yes. Yes. I thought I was incorrect for a second, but he's still aggroed by something down there. Also, I've uninstalled the Fall Evil stuff, so those and numeral hunters and the, what do you call them? Those, the lickers, the really tanky Mirelurk King clones, they're gone, so honestly that's fine. Also, Swan's going to be gone in a second. Yep, he's angry and red. Let's try to sneak around him, stay out of line of sight. That's good enough. And did it in one. Yeah. Stealth in this game is pretty gnarly when it comes to melee weapons. Like, how much damage am I getting with this thing, just to give you an idea? So, 606, you times that by 12, yeah. That'll do the job. Okay, next victim is going to be hit across the head with this this real big stick, right? And it probably won't work, but we've got that like pacification chance if it doesn't work out. But I think we'll be just fine. Yeah, just a casual 41,000 damage. It's balanced. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I think you get the idea. We went on a little bit of an adventure today. Stealth melee in this game, absolutely devastatingly powerful. Just like the good old days of Fallout 76. Tier remembers. Those were good times. That couple of weeks before the damage nerf was around, and also come back here, you bastard, was probably the best time I've ever had with Fallout 76, and then they ruined everything. But that's neither here nor there. We're playing Fallout 4, and we don't have to worry about Bethesda's balancing. So, again, this is Taste of Blues. You'll find these weapons strewn about the mod. They're actually kind of easy to find. The antennas especially. You get one at the end when you get the red portal gun, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you do it. And one's at the start, basically in plain view as you walk in. And you'll find the rest of these just on lobotomites and everything, so... And... Well, that's weird. That's the bloatfly thing. The blood fountain hasn't stopped yet. Can you make that go away? Never mind, I guess that's a cool trick. It's normal for women to bleed like that, right? Anyway, so, yeah, go check out the mod. It's good. Go find it. Highly recommend it. It's a good maybe hour or two of walking around a cell of just nostalgia for Old World Blues. So do check it out. Worth seeing, and I think it's on Xbox as well, so you can do this on consoles. How good's that? And the blood's going away even better. I'm gonna leave things there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Lily Companion mod also available to Xbox users.